Oh man, Temple brother, I'm not doing so good today.
Nah, you're not holding up?
The coughing is getting worse, so I do horribly apologize if it's starting to impact the cast for you guys, and hopefully it's not going to deter for you. We'll try to keep it as cool as we can, because we are two cool cats named Rifkin and Tempo.
Bam.
Meow.
Yeah, I was gonna do
Spawning in the top left corner of the map, the newcomer to the, I guess, the screen, the silver screen here on the English stream. From the clan BKT, it is the blue. Well, dude, we got like the least viewers of all the streams. We're hardly the main stage. Understandable because Red Bull's still going on, but the blue Protoss player, Allison.
And his opponent is in the bottom right, representing Solaris Gaming, the Red Zerg, JonSnow.
Now, I know in general is a very blanket statement. Zerg players are struggling versus Protoss, just statistically. This is reflected through all regions, not just Europe, because in Europe, Protoss wins everything. It doesn't matter who's playing. But all jokes aside, I have no idea how he's going to measure up against JonSnow, because I have seen JonSnow play the most miraculous games you've ever seen in your life, but I've also seen him lose to really stupid things, like 4-gate all-ins, you know, off 2 bases. So on King Sejong, that's definitely a very, very probable threat. Because I think a lot of the times, too, we see these players who come up, you know, whether you're top masters or grandmasters, if you think your opponent's better than you, maybe your best bet's to go for that all-in, for that cheesy move, and not try and compete in the macro game.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty powerful, too. Especially with, like, the early third, if you're not getting it off of 3 hats before pool, you know, and you're only making lings, it can get really difficult to deal with those zealots. And if you allow them to really get to that point where they're just, you can't manage them with lings anymore, you lose your third, and then Protoss can do something to follow it up, maybe an Immortal Sentry or something, and you just don't have the units to actually fight it correctly. So
yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I'm looking at Alice's name. I'm wondering if this is the sister brother of the Axiom player, Alicia.
Alicia, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking that too.
Although Alicia's a bit cooler. He's got his name from a game called Dungeon Fighter Online. This is a game I was actually heavily addicted to, and perhaps the only game I've spent an embarrassingly large amount of real money on through their pay-to-win system.
Yeah, my brother Sinvicta is a big fan of that as well. Didn't they take the servers offline recently? Not recently, but
yeah,
maybe.
that's what really made me stop spending money on video games, actually, so maybe it was a good thing. For those who don't know, DFO was discontinued in Americas. They got rid of the servers entirely and wiped everything, so you can no longer play it at all. Which means I think I spent close to $180 on that game,
and it's like nothing,
just wasted, wasted and wasted.
It's all right, Rifkin. It's okay. I'm sure everybody sympathizes, man.
Good thing Blizzard doesn't.
Shut up, this.
The whole pay-to-win thing. I do kind of wish we'd see skins, though. That's actually something I've been very adamant about. I know that they've listed the reasons why, and it's perfectly reasonable that they can't do skins, although, like, for every unit. But there's some things that are already in-game, like the Swarm Queen. How cool of a skin would that be compared to the stupid Lings with the wings? All those do is make people mad that they can't see what's going on.
That silly Ling skin, yeah. Well, you know what, Rifkin? Look at what we have on the way here for Allison. We have 3 gateways already off of this Nexus. Only going to put 2 at the front. But I mean, yeah.
Well, I think for JonSnow, this isn't that big of a deterrent. But seeing if he could see that 4th one in the back, that would be a big deal. Because 4 gates on 2 bases, guys. Game paused. Oh, he's fixing the mouse.
Okay.
I don't know. For some reason, I read that as like Rifkin's house, Rift's house. I don't know. Anyways, my crazy delirium aside, this is a very dangerous thing. Allison does not have to attack with this and doesn't have to all in. The thing is, though, with having distinctively hidden the 4th gate, it really says to me that they're going to want to start putting those pylons on. Actually, speak of the devil, down here at the bottom of the map, and try to apply some pressure. But here's where this build starts falling apart in a very awkward manner. The idea of a 4 gate off of 2 bases, not 1, is not to win the game, but to actually shut down a 3rd.
Yes.
But the joke's on you, JonSnow never made a 3rd, so you can kind of consider his mission accomplished, but at the same time, this may bait him into actually going for a full-on attack into the base. And if he decides to do that, that's where we see a lot of these 4-gate builds fall apart, and over-dedications happen, and all of a sudden what wasn't supposed to be an all-in is now an all-in.
Exactly. A Roach Warren is on the way for JonSnow, but it won't be in time to actually...
Even
this is a little scary, man.
Right, but the thing is, even slow roaches on creep don't have a great time dealing with zealots, especially if a time warp gets thrown down. So Well, this kind of is like, oh, they've got range. What a direct counter to Zealots. That's actually not always the case.
Yeah, I agree. And his speed is finished now, but 5 Zealots is quite a bit. Gotta be really careful with your lings. You never just go in and lose your first wave of lings, or else you're never gonna hold it.
That was a really good control point, though. He picked off the probe, so no more pylons are gonna come down. If he snipes this one off, that kills reinforcements. JonSnow can't afford to leave any Zealots to guard that pylon.
Yeah. But luckily for him, he didn't take that third base. He's gonna get this around here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the surround's not gonna be that good, though. These Zealots are quite strong. You need a lot of lings to deal with Zealots. But what he's doing, of course, is buying time for the Roaches, so it's okay that he's not really winning these fights. He's not trying to engage or disengage. He's just buying time for those Roaches.
Yep, and I feel like it's very important that he does beat this army out. Doesn't let him get away with it.
He can't
for free.
recall.
He can pick off that mothership core. That would be really nice.
Allison cannot recall. A lot of these Zealots are starting to die. She might just leave 2 behind and run with the rest, but fighting his opponent off a creep, maybe? No, he's gonna try to run.
That's a lot of roaches though, Ruff. There's really nothing at home. There won't be enough for a photon overcharge, but actually, you know what? There might be. I think by the time he gets home,
right, but hang on. There's no cannon down. The photon overcharge DPS is fantastic because it couples with the cannon. One photon overcharge of DPS will eventually clean up the roaches. Yeah, sure, lings will go down, haha. But this is not a situation where he's got a very high DPS count. And the sentries were only just warped in, so there's a little bit of energy on one, but the rest are pretty empty.
Yeah, I think this might do a bit of damage, and if his sentries are exposed here, he may even end up losing quite a bit of them if he's not careful, so... Oh god, this is a little bit of a scary position, but JonSnow's not fully committing. He's just utilizing his units. Oh my god.
This is huge. He's getting the force field down right now. He can't let a single one of these pass. This depowers the Robo!
Oh, the Robo,
It's hardly an Artosis pylon, but it's a devastating pylon to have had in the first place. He needs Immortals. Immortals are how you shut down roaches and make it a joke.
Yep. And, well, JonSnow's not going to commit to it. I feel like he could have pushed the issue if he really wanted to, but it...
I kind of wish he would have taken down the back rocks while this is going on, to be honest.
True. He has the time to. Yeah, finds that other pylon. Nice. I was thinking, like when you make units as Zerg, you just try to get everything you can out of them, and you know that the Protoss probably isn't going to be pushing out for a very long time. So yeah, going for that rock would definitely be a great idea. But oh god, yeah, Rifkin, we got 3 more gateways on the way, a +1 and the Robo. So he may be going for an Immortal sentry with +1. A follow-up here, since he did end up taking the gases.
There's no downside to having the +1. I don't think anyone's ever going to say, like, yo, you shouldn't waste the gas with that +1. But I think this was something that would have paired a lot better with when he had the Zealots earlier, you know, when it was mostly just lings. It's not the direct go-to build, and it is arguably more or less all in, but I like watching +1 3 gates way better than 4 gates. Although the 4 gate pressure is so strong, it's hard to argue one's necessarily better than the other.
Yeah, I feel like the 4 gate one hits earlier. Because of course you don't have to wait for that upgrade.
Yeah.
But and it's usually to kill the third. You know, but both of those builds do punish early thirds. No. Yeah, both of the builds do punish early thirds. But the way that JonSnow played, he was ready to deal with it. So.
I think one of the key things here too is the Immortal count right now is kind of low, and this is the time he should be hitting. The strength of Immortal Sentry guys is the timing specifically revolved around it. But JonSnow's had time to build the Hydra Den. He's going to have Hydras out by the time he needs to defend. Now, yes, to a degree, you can still win a fight with Immortal Sentry because half the power comes from the Immortals, the other half comes from amazing force fields. But that's the thing. You know, it's not easy to get those amazing force fields. It's really easy to push a whole army back, but of course, the strategy of this is segment them. You want to fight them 1/10 at a time, catch 5 roaches and 2 hydras, keep the rest out of range to aid that fight. But for JonSnow, he's not in a situation where he's in any real danger, I feel. This is not, in fact, I would say he's in a very comfortable spot because this army is not strong enough to beat him.
Not at all. He was able to buy that time and get it, like you said, the tech. And I was going to say, even if JonSnow was able to waste some force fields in the middle, it would have been great. But he's going to wait until he gets his roaches and his hydras, flooding with some lings as well. Maybe get a really nice flank, as his creep spread is nice. He can set up something if he really wanted to. Oh my god, he's just going to go in for it.
This is a really... it's a bit risky, but look what he does. JonSnow baits out 1 useless time warp and 4 force fields. Force fields. But... yeah, I gotta say, you're like the complete opposite of Zamira, where she just sits there and like face bombs. You totally go with it. I like you better.
Oh, you're such fine, man. You might watch this.
Oh, the time warps are not available, so this is actually not gonna go so hot. Focuses down the mothership core, doesn't quite get it with 10 health. Never mind, does go down. but the force fields have been exhausted, and while the roaches have been traded out, there's not a lot of power. Well, actually, I think there's still a hell of a lot of energy on these sentries. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong units.
Yeah. They do have the +1 as well. Does JonSnow have 1? Yeah, he does have +1 too, so...
Well, as well as the group spines. I think that's the most important thing. But a counterattack was off while this was going on. A cannon was finally thrown down, but that cannon is going to get wrecked by these roaches here in just a second. There's no chance... Yeah, there's no chance of a recall either. He kind of has to go full bore. I don't know if this is necessarily... Yeah, I mean...
less power at the push.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. The force fields are not going to catch that many roaches. About 3 roaches for 3 force fields. Quite frankly, not adequate enough. The Hydra count's actually going pretty crazy while this is going on. And this is primarily gateway units that don't have sustain. There's no blink on these stalkers. They're forced to fight in the force fields.
It's a spine crawler.
The spine crawler is trying so hard to get involved. I'm helping!
Participation award, I want one.
But Johnson's going to crush this. The Immortals go down. He's still got roaches on the other side of the field that were never cleaned up. GG well played is going to be called. And absolutely, JonSnow played that fantastically.
That was a greatly played game by JonSnow from the beginning to the end. Scouting the 2 gates in the front. He put down a spore crawler because he wasn't sure what was up, and then there was a point where he realized with the maybe the Zealot and the Mothership Core pushing out, that he's like, all right, this isn't Stargate. There's no Phoenixes yet, and then canceled the spore crawler and realized that okay, you're doing some kind of some gateway play right now, and he didn't take a third. He took a really delayed third, in order to be able to deal with it. So
yeah. Guys, I noticed that Red Bull is finally concluded. I'm sure I'll get the results spoiled for me, and I won't be able to watch it spoiler for you. But for those of you joining us from the cast, thank you for filtering over. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hi. I hope you're all still. I hope you're all still hopped up on Red Bull and energy drink, because we got some more StarCraft 2 for you. As we get through Copa America, if you're just joining us on the broadcast, there's a Reddit thread up, which I would highly encourage checking out, because it's got all the information, bracket links, the other stream links, who's going on for what. But, of course, if you want to see what's going on, you can just type !Reddit or !brackets in chat. But I want to give a big shout out to Suppy, my man, who has qualified for Copa America
already.
Season 2.
He just blasted through the bracket, man.
Well, this is another qualifying match. I forgot to draw attention to that during the game, but the winner of this series will also go on to not only fight against Suppy, but play in Season 2 of Copa America.
Okay. Wow, yeah, you're right. So Suppy's just waiting for the winner of this.
Yeah, let me actually go to the brackets here real quick, guys. If you look, it's the top 4 of each group. So this is the top half of the qualifier. This is the bottom half of the qualifier, and as you can see, it's those top 4 slots that really, really matter. So Suppy has already locked 1 down. Of course, some others are still going to be fighting it out, but we're going to be hopping to Game 2 with JonSnow in a moment's time, once they have that hosted and ready, to see if he can 2-0 and join the likes of Suppy, or if he'll be knocked out, sadly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Suppy and JonSnow, by the way, or Suppy and Allison, whichever ones win, they still have to play another match. They are qualified, but unlike IEM qualifiers and stuff, guys, they have to compete for seeding. And Suppy's gone offline. I hope he knows that he still has to play.
Yeah. Maybe they kicked him out of the venue because the event's over.
That could be true. I mean, he's got some time. He's got some time, so.
Yeah, he's like sprinting to his hotel, hook it up on that hotel Wi-Fi,
that's
so that he
gonna
can
be
play his match.
If you're gonna play on hotel
And
Wi-Fi,
ZVZ
you might as well just
especially,
forfeit it. Yeah.
If it was a ZVZ, that is. If JonSnow were to win.
Allison didn't do that horrible. I mean, like, I favor JonSnow because we saw him qualify last season, right? Like that's where the bias comes in. But Allison didn't do a lot of things horribly that game. It just, if JonSnow had played more standard, that strategy would have worked out better. But he didn't take a fast start. He didn't play greedy. He had units instead of drones. You're not used to seeing that out of Zerg. You're used to seeing 70 drones and free pickings.
Yep. That's the way to play Zerg, baby. Just drone up and die, or drone up and win.
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah, JonSnow played it beautifully. Like, just recognizing, always being aware of the potential. You know, he's just like, all right, what could possibly? I don't know what it was that tipped him off. He may have flown. I don't think he flew an overload or anything, but there was just a point where he was just like, okay, I got to make nothing but units right now, and he dropped the roach run, I believe, at like 6 minutes, which is pretty standard. Yeah, he's just playing it safe, and he's perfectly fine. He did a really nice showing there, like transitioning into the +1, getting the Hydras out, and in the end, taking the game.
Well, here we are in map number 2, the lobby, and all this stuff, guys. We're going to Nimbus.
Ooh.
Flying Nimbus, Dragon Ball. Just heard you in
Right?
the theme song in the background there.
Yo, what's the I'm thinking of Malo from Mario RPG, when they like, didn't he like have a...
Now I'm just thinking of Super Mario RPG.
for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
I love that song. Yeah.
We'll see you in a sec for Nimbus. So fun fact for those, as we load into the map here, you may not know this about Tempo, but he is actually raising a flock of birds.
I forgot to mute my mic, didn't I?
It's fine. I don't think the stream picks it up because the video for the intro is actually fairly loud. But if we're dead silent, guys, you would just hear like a million chirps.
Yep, they're having a party out there, man. They got their stream on, tuning into the Copa, and they're just cheering on both JonSnow and Allison right now. You know, that's why they're going back and forth.
Yeah, I know this was kind of like a racist thing with the whole the crows from. Do you remember Dumbo?
Oh.
The crows from Dumbo? Like that's what I imagine is like hanging outside your house right now. Like it's just a bunch of crows and like clothes from the '60s, and they're like discussing the game. Like, yo, that Allison guy, man, should have played this differently. It's like starts talking about balance issues, and one falls off because he's not balanced. Get it?
Oh snap, Riff. Yo, man, I'm gonna have to have you. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna have to have you write my next StarCraft2 parody.
Yo, real talk. That low title, man. Oh my god.
That was pretty intense, actually. But we're in the game regardless.
You know what else was actually pretty intense?
What
Fire
is?
at the circus.
Oh snap!
Yo,
oh my god! You get me with the double on. What are they? Double on.
The double entendre is like the, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I got one more for you before we do intros. You ready? Are you ready, Tempo?
Gotcha.
Brace yourself.
My body's okay.
Have you been to the space restaurant?
No, I haven't.
Good food, great service, no atmosphere.
Wow.
Alright guys, welcome back to the cast that's full of bad jokes and shenanigans, but not bad players. Spawning here in the top right corner of the map, currently down one. We'll see if he can bring it back, or she. It is the red Protoss player, Allison.
And his opponent spawning in the top left corner of Nimbus, representing Solaris Gaming, the blue Zerg. Gonna be scouting the right way with his Overlord, or at least the second one is JonSnow.
Now I got another really awful joke coming up in a moment, but before I tell this horrible joke, guys, I want to talk about the spawn locations on this map, because right now JonSnow is probably in a very unfavorable position if Allison decides to do anything Sky Toss or Warp Prism related. This map has in-base expansions protected kind of like Alterzim, where there's only one ramp and that comes in from the main base, and it initially starts as a very tight choke that opens up a little more later on. But because he spawns like this, he spawns a little bit closer, and Allison's expansion is actually all the way down here. So if this was a reverse scenario, you start talking about mutas and theory crafting, this and that, but the reality is Allison can still go for really, really strong pushes. But what I've been seeing a lot of on this map, and this is what I highly encourage, like Rifkin's Tricks 101, and this isn't coming from my own personal experience. I'm a horrible Zerg player. I would never suggest anything I do. But from watching other really good Zerg players, they've been taking this base out here at the third as their natural, because what this allows them to do is spread creep much further, much faster. So this also gives you a much more protected, safer base for later on.
Yeah. You see that quite a bit on Altazim. Well, not anymore, obviously, but on Altazim, when you would go for 3 hats before pool, of course, getting the one outside first before your in-base one, just so that creep spread does begin. And also, if you need to defend that base, you could do so if you wanted to. So.
Dude, Tempo, do you know that setting up the base for Protoss player on this map, by the way, especially with this choke, is very similar to organizing a space party?
Is it really, Rifkin? In what way?
You plan it.
Do you write these, man? You're like, all right, man, I got like 10 here. I got to narrow it down to 3.
Actually, guilty as charged. One of the things I get a lot of these from are those Walking Dead memes where it's like, Coral, get it, Coral.
Coral.
10 tickles, Coral. I'm like a bad meme, is what I am.
Who said that? It was
that to you. His dad, Rick or whatever, from that image where he's like bent over crying when Lori died, but it's really looks like he's laughing.
Spoiler alert! Whoa!
Whoa! If you haven't watched Walking Dead at this point, I don't really care because I hate that show. that one chick. I've only seen like season 2 or something, but like there's like that blonde chick. She made me so mad when she shot like Daryl or whoever it was.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't have a gun, you can't handle a gun. And she's like, no, I can totally handle a gun. First thing she does is like friendly fires with a gun. Like, come on!
Oh, God, right?
Anyways,
come on, I can feel it. That was really a stressful moment for you, wasn't it?
It really
I can actually
was.
feel it.
It was passion, is what it was. Passion dying for that show. Anyways, no, all seriousness, bring it back to StarCraft 2, guys. One of the big things for Allison, when you do look at this map, is if Allison does want to pressure the third, the option's there. This is something that I want to say she, but he or she.
Yeah.
Assuming it's a he, guys. Let's be honest, it's the internet. But assuming Allison had wanted to go for that pressure to this game, that same 4-gate move, it would have actually worked out fantastically. But glances past it, skips to the Robo, and is going to be going for that higher tech.
Indeed. Did he go for Nexus first into Forge, or did he just? I didn't see exactly how he opened, but I mean, regardless, it is. I think it was Nexus and then Forge, and I have no idea, but. Anyway, yeah, like you're saying, I think he is going to be going for that +1, dropping that Robo, and no pressure, you know?
I mean, it's probably just going to be the Immortal that comes out of this quickly, but I would love if this was a War Prism. You would win my heart and probably the game if you could pull it off. Because one of the other things, too, is like, well, this isn't a 1-sentry force field, you can still 2-sentry force field this, and probably focus down the hatchery with 4 Zealots before anything gets in here. But we do have the Immortal coming out first, so... not a terrible idea, but sadly this will all be scouted and revealed by JonSnow.
Yeah, it seems pretty predictable at this point, so JonSnow is going to be going to opt to grab that lair before speed, adding some gases, and we may even just see really quick Hydras to deal with it. Some people like to do it with good positioning and Roach Ling, but getting that lair before makes me wonder. I don't know, you think we'll see some Ling Hydra, or...
Ling Hydra is so, I'd say, creep dependent more than most things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have creep and that's great, that's fantastic. You spread it, cool, it prevents pylons from coming down, you get a little bit of vision, all these other benefits, but Ling Hydra, guys, because it's so easily countered by Colossus, you need that speed bonus. It's not a question of maybe, but you have to have it. So if it is going to be Ling Hydra, I don't think it'll work, simply because he doesn't have creep spread. And JonSnow actually is one of the few Zerg players pretty notorious for having pretty lousy creep spread ZVP. ZVT's creep spread is actually really good. I don't know what happens, but...
He had great ZV... maybe just the queen count, you know? I think he only makes the queens for his hatcheries and doesn't opt to go ahead and make a creep spreading queen. He just puts one creep tumor down and uses that tumor to just connect his bases or so.
Yeah. But, okay, as far as defensively going, actually, JonSnow will not touch Allison. He actually can't break into 2 bases no matter what he has, Ling Hydra or not, because he's got to go through these rocks. And that's plenty of time for Allison to get a Colossus out if he scouts that coming, plenty of time for the 3+ Immortals to one-shot the Roaches and make them just kind of a joke. He's also set up Proxy Pawns, so something he did fantastic last game too, caught JonSnow off guard with it. But a lot of this really heavily revolves around timing, and I kind of feel Allison taking his time, playing it cool, he's losing that timing. He throws down the extra gateways, actually in a really cool formation. Almost looks like a question mark, like, hey, what do you think I'm going to go for? Question mark.
With all these chrono boosts on these gateways right now. But yeah, +1 is finished, Rifkin. That's a ton of sentries, although they have just been warped in, so only a few have a lot of energy.
But this is a great map for Zerg. Look at this open area. Look how many force fields it's going to take. He has to actually donut this.
Yep, he's going to force out. He's going to force out the. Look at that 5 already.
One thing he do not do is get good force fields.
I was going to say that.
He does get some good ones here towards the end, but he loses some of the sentries. Not something he could have really afforded to do. And the worst part is, he doesn't lose them to Hydras, he doesn't trade them out for Roaches, he loses them for Lings. So now pushing across the map, having expended all of his energy with a very low sentry count, the timings are off, the unit count is off. If Allison can win this game, then it's an IMBA issue. We should really talk to David Kim or something.
I mean, that's kind of like how you deal with this, and even in Wings of Liberty, right? Where Pardon was doing it, you just catch the units off as they're leaving. Oh my god, more sentries are going to go down here.
There's a saving grace, though. If he can kill that third and recall with the Mothership Core, then actually he's going to be in a better spot. But that's the only option he really has right now, to get up there, focus this down, and recall immediately. With the Mothership Core shooting the Queen, that's not going to happen, and he's losing what is potentially the single most important unit in his army right now.
We're going to see a sick flank here, Rifkin.
Actually,
the army supply is basically doubling, almost.
Well, this is a 1 force field ramp.
Oh, JonSnow's going to get force field out here.
Yeah,
and he needs every unit here.
I don't know. I think he's still going to hold the third. There's just too many Roaches, I feel. The Immortals are going to do tons of damage. There's no questioning that. But the Mothership Core is gone. The force fields start falling. Coming from the back end, he's trying to sandwich this. This is a really good decision making to JonSnow.
Yeah, for sure. Although it was delayed, I mean, you have to use those force fields, of course, to actually deal with the army. Drones are getting pulled already, but he doesn't even need to. He's just saying, you know what, drones, you get a golden star as well. That War Prism might even go down too, Riff.
Nah, he'll get away. But the Immortal, like, what is one Immortal, right?
Yeah. What's a two-base push to a Zerg like me? Can you please remind me? But he's gonna go ahead. Gonna escape with the Immortal, but I mean, that's it, right? He's gonna
Oh,
go ahead,
look
tell
at
his
this.
friends about it, and then.
Well, here's the thing.
This-
Jon Snow, or rather, Allison was hoping to hold off with force fields until he had something else out. Jon Snow's saying, "All right, you want to force me out? I got a plan B already coming. The Spire's on the way."
Spire, exactly. And the longer that this Protoss is on 2 bases and just focusing on trying not to die, the mutas are gonna come in, and we'll be able to finish, seal the deal rather, and allow Jon Snow to pretty much go into
God.
whatever he wants. Oh man. He
There's
doesn't want to go
just-
with that ramp, though. He knows he doesn't have to.
But here's the thing, like, let's say Jon Snow wasn't a Grandmaster player. Let's say Jon Snow was too stupid to make mutas, right? Let's say he just sat outside the base
say
all
Jon
day
Snow
with
was
max
terrible.
roaches. Allison will bleed out into attrition of having only
Yes.
2 bases. He can't secure a third, he won't secure a third, and a lot of this boils down to the fact that he has no tech behind this. I mean, these
Yeah.
Zealots, they don't even have charge.
Yeah. He's gonna go for round 2, and he's gonna hope for the best. Jon Snow's creep spread is okay. I mean, it allows him to at least take a fight without it being on his doorstep, finding out about it. But kind of funny here with this 4th coming down for Jon Snow, that this pylon that was used initially is
Yeah.
actually gonna be able to cancel it.
But that's the thing, right? Like, it's a cancel, not a kill. I'm surprised he didn't wait till it completed. He really needs a kill at this point. So the glow stick Zealot's sadly not going to get that kill. Jon Snow does go for the cancel, keeps the drone alive, so he just rebuilt it right away. There's another drone with the army left over from when he pulled drones earlier. I guess it's just in the control group.
He's just, oh my god, Jon Snow is making the use out of all of his units, getting the most bang for his buck. And you know what? They should do that. Like, I know we were talking about skins earlier before, and I think it would be really, really funny if they had like a rave party zealot skin. So
Yeah.
there's like glow sticks instead.
That,
Oh,
well, you
yeah.
know, that's kind of the goofy borderline League of Legends type skin idea, right?
I know.
Like for
I know, yeah.
StarCraft2, I just want like the hero unit versions. Like the War Pigs for the Marines is cool, but I want Hammer Security for the Marauders. I want Hellbats to look like Firebats or something. I don't know, but anyways, the
I know
mutas getting rid of the
exactly
natural base. My saltiness for skins aside, Allison is getting absolutely wrecked.
Well, Jon Snow doesn't give a damn about anything. He's just a GG bump. Whoa!
We can't actually talk about that. We're actually literally not allowed to talk about that, but that is a very clever pun. So
Wow.
Allison, my hat's off
God
to
damn.
you.
Yep. Oh my god.
All right, but you know what? We neglected to touch base on it again, but that was a qualifying match for Copa America. So congratulations to
Jon
Solaris
Snow.
Gaming's Jon Snow.
Way to go.
He
So-
ain't no average Joe.
Oh, but he's a pro.
Unlike him, though, I just play slow.
Oh, bro.
Listen to this flow.
Remember when you talked about Crow?
I got these rhymes in tow.
I'm gonna keep